So I was thinking in my mind about the challenge that sometimes comes from the conversation with a seller who is living in a home and it's furnished, um, how to suggest to them that perhaps you could improve their decor, right? That's got to be a challenging conversation. But also, if you're in a market that has low inventory and is selling quickly, I imagine that there could be a little pushback from a seller who thinks that the house is just going to sell itself and they don't need to do anything to prepare it for market. So, what kind of conversations are you having, what are you hearing from sellers as you address this?
So I think in a hot market, where this becomes more important is that in our market right now, last week, 58% of the closings were above the list price. Now you want to be in that group of people that are getting 14 offers and, all of them cash over the asking price. If your house doesn't, I always say sparkle. If it doesn't sparkle, your chances of getting that decrease. And if it does sparkle, you're going to have a lot of people. We had one home not too long ago we sold. We put it on the market for $2.1 million. Jan and her team went in and they did a lot to make that house sparkle. And we had 100 people through it in 3 days. We had 14 offers and we closed at 2.4. So I think all of those little elements made a big difference in how that house showed. I think you probably agree. And that's part of what, and then it comes back to, we get it into the imagery, we do videos. So we have so many points where people can connect with this. And there's a term that we use, both of our backgrounds also have some marketing in it, and it's called anchoring. And what we try to do is make sure that we anchor certain things in the mind of that prospective buyer through what Jan and Ashley and our team do. So for example, it can be the sense that we talked about. It can be a story, because we think every home has a story. And we actually just sold our own house a month ago. And it sold in 3 days over asking price. And the anchor point that we had a very beautiful lemon tree. And during pandemic, I decided to make limoncello.
Made a
Oh,
flop that year.
So we made the limoncello, and then we always take people on a quick tour of the house, just because if an agent walks into a couple $1 million home, they don't know whether the bedrooms are to the left, right? We like to give them a lay of the land. And I'd always point out the lemon tree and I'd say, this lemon tree makes the best limoncello. And if you buy the house, I'll give you the recipe.
oh,
And then as we went through the house, we got to a refrigerator where there was a bottle of limoncello. And I said, this is the limoncello. Would you like to try it? Of course, everybody did. And our house became known as the Lemoncello House. So that's anchored in that person. Remember the Lemoncello House. Remember the Pink Flamingo House. It can be different things. Remember the Candy House. So there's always these little elements that Jan and her team put into it, or we try to come up with the story that we can tell about that home that makes it different and special.